Hello and welcome once again, and welcome to the micro allotment, mini allotment. Remember, we started this in lockdown. Now all those months ago, in April, we planted some potatoes, and it's 100 days virtually to the day. And today I'm going to start to harvest my potatoes, both from the buckets or the pots that we planted them in and from the potato bed. So first of all, we're going to begin with one of the buckets that we actually planted. And remember, these are Maris pear, and these were planted on the 7th of April, as you can see. That's what the label's for, tells you when they were done. And quite simply, I'm going to tip these out into a wheelbarrow and see what we've actually got. Now, this is the surprise, and it's almost like Christmas Day all over again in the middle of actual summer. You just don't know whether it's been a good crop, whether it's been a bad crop, or no crop at all. Certainly they seem happy in their little home, but we're going to disturb them now. So you might want to trim the foliage back, and remember, all this stuff can actually go into the compost heap. So just trim them down so it's a little bit more ungainly to deal with. And all that can be chopped up and go right into the compost heap. And then we're just going to tip this out and see what we've actually got. And just literally fucking them done. Oh, look at this straight away, look. You can see them straight away, look at this, guys. Oh my lord, this is absolutely fabulous. Look, we've got potatoes. Actually, Maris pear is a lovely potato, a lovely eating potato, and we're just going to work through this. And as we work through, and remember, there was just 2 seed potatoes that we put into this bucket, and we'll probably find the seed potato as we work our way through. There's some more, look, folks, and these are ginormous. Look at this, it's absolutely fabulous. Look, we pop them into the bucket, and look at them. Even the smaller ones, even if you get little tiny ones, then you can actually use them underneath the roast. So you've got roast chicken. There's your seed potato. Look, normally they're quite squelchy and has gone to seed. There's a pudding there somewhere, but that's okay. You can still use that in the compost heap, but obviously you don't want to be eating that. And then basically 2 seed potatoes. We work our way through, and then we do this on the other side. Look, and we've got some wonderful crop potatoes here. We're filling our bucket quite nicely, look. And look at this, guys. Oh my lord. And I said even the tiny ones like that, look, can go underneath the roast, underneath the joint, and still provide a really healthy meal. So as we work through, remember, this is totally live. None of your pre-planned stuff here, guys. Okay, so I've just cropped from 2 seed potatoes a really decent meal, at least for 2 people, if not 3 or 4, from what, a 20-litre pot, something like that, you know, at the end of the day. Now all this can be worked through, and this compost doesn't go to waste because you can actually reuse it for your borders and to pop back onto your vegetable plots and effectively you know, recycle it. You can use it for seed compost, so 3 parts a good compost or decent compost, fresh compost, to 1 part reuse compost, and again you can use that to sow more seeds, things like kale and things like that that you might want to do at this time of year. So there you go. I think that's a pretty decent harvest from a 20-litre bucket. Got some really lovely looking potatoes there, folks. And we'll probably find some more as I get time to actually work through the compost that's in the wheelbarrow at this particular point in time. Now, harvesting from the bed is virtually the same, really. We're going to move over and we're going to take out just a couple of the actual plants that we've got growing here. Now, the good thing about growing in a bed, if you've got the room to actually do that, is you don't have to harvest this all at once. So essentially you can leave some of these in the ground, and what I'll be doing is as we come to the weekly Sunday roast, I'll be coming and basically out here and just harvesting a few potatoes for our Sunday roast. So again, I'm going to take this first plant, I'm just going to chop the tops off, look, just so that we know where we're digging, because micro allotments, one of the big problems is the fact that you've not got a lot of space. And as long as you kept these well watered, I did give them a little bit of seaweed fertiliser occasionally, but effectively, you know, they've done really well. These were battered by the winds we had a couple of weeks ago, so that's why they're lying a little bit flat. Now, get your fork and try and fork in around about 6 inches away from the actual plant itself, and don't be worried about spearing things. So if you do spear a potato, you just need to actually use that straight away. So I'm just going to go straight in for it, look, in for this particular plant, and I'm just going to get down, and then I'm just going to tease it up, shake off the compost, look. Look at that, guys. I mean, look at that, and that's straight out of the ground, guys. That's one plant, okay, and you can see there we've got an absolutely superb crop that's going to come along. Let's shake off a little bit more soil, and you know, look at these. At the end of the day, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, I can count as well. There's a baby one there, look, and there's even more if we. And now, you know, we've got little ones, look, if we left them a little bit longer, they'd probably produce as well. But now we've got the other thing to do is just have a quick fork around in the soil we've actually disturbed. So there's probably still some in the actual ground. Although Maris Piper, which is what these are, tend to be quite good at keeping where they are. So I am actually, inspired by that, going to dig another one out. Okay. Pull that out of the ground, and that's a smaller plant, look, and we've just got a couple on there. So there you go, there are your potatoes. That's how to harvest, and I will harvest these effectively for the next 3 to 4 weeks really, and just start pulling stuff out the ground. Do dig around really deeply after you've fetched the plant out of the ground, because some tubers could remain in the soil. But between the two buckets you can see that we've actually got quite a nice crop going on here. So there's easily enough potatoes there for a family of 4, if not a family of 6. And I'm looking forward to my Sunday lunch now, most definitely. So thank you for subscribing, as I always say at the end of my videos. Thank you for joining in. There's lots more to harvest from the lockdown allotment. I've got my onions to come. We have had a lot of peas off the plot, and tomatoes that I'm growing outside. Remember, crop later than in the glass house, so they're starting to look really well. And I've got some work to do on the allotment because the weather recently hasn't been weather that we can get into the gardens. It's been quite wet and windy, hasn't it? So thank you very much for listening, and I'll speak to you soon in the next video along, and most of all, keep gardening.